to... Hello. First of all, I want to thank CB9 for lending me the equipment so I can be loud in this room. Too loud? Can you hear me now? So I just wanted to thank CB9 for lending me this equipment so I don't have to shout and I can be loud. My name is Tio Chino and I am a tenant at 640. I'm from apartment 10B and I'm on the board. Para los que no hablan inglés, mi nombre es Teo. Aló, bueno. Gracias. Para los que no hablan inglés, mi nombre es Teo. Vivo aquí en el apartamento 10B y soy miembro de la Junta. Hoy día es un día extremadamente importante para nuestro edificio. Today is a very important day for our building. HPD, the banker, UHAB, the sponsor, MTG, the builder, the architect, are all coming at 7 p.m. They will be here to present us their plan on how they're going to spend $29 million. $29 million is $605 per apartment in average. So they're going to explain to us what is going to happen, how they're going to spend that money, and the information is over there on the board behind the gentleman with the phone. Your name? No, just over there. En español rápidamente, esta noche, este meeting es sumamente importante porque a las 7 de la noche va a venir UHAB, que es el dueño del edificio, con HPD, que es la ciudad, con el arquitecto, con MDG, el contratista que va a arreglar el edificio, y con el banquero, ¿cómo se dice? Con el banker. Con el banquero a explicar cómo vamos a gastar $22 millones para rehabilitar este edificio. Con interés y todo se viene siendo como $605 por apartamento. Esa es la construcción y eso es lo que vienen a decidir a las 7. So just to give you a quick background, in 2003, the board of directors of the building made a resolution, and the resolution is on the wall over there, that basically said that if UHAB was not working with us, we would ask them to give us more detail. During 2006 to 2000, many years. So today is that day where we're going to be asking them a lot of questions. So the idea of this meeting before is for me to give you what I have in my head, to answer as many questions as I can, as precise as I can, so you can ask UHAB, the banker, and everything else, the questions that are in your mind. I don't have all the answer. I'll say it in Spanish very quickly. Este meeting lo estamos haciendo para poder contestar todas las preguntas. No, discúlpeme. Este meeting es para darle a ustedes toda la información que yo tengo en mi cabeza que yo he puesto en las paredes, para que ustedes puedan hacer las preguntas aclarada hacia UHAB y toda esa gente, sabiendo cuáles son las preguntas que ustedes quieren hacer. I think that's about it for my part. So I'll open the floor. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I privately asked a lawyer to look at my temporary agreement, and the lawyer just emailed me like half an hour ago and gave me the result of her finding on the temporary relocation agreement. And one thing that came very clear is like there are a lot of things that are useless, meaningless, and illegal. Like for example, she goes clearly saying paragraph 12 is illegal. If there is a cooperative conversion, the sponsor cannot withhold the sale of a tenant because they're in court. So there are stuff like that in the temporary agreement that they're asking us to sign. So we need to make a decision as a tenant body whether to get a lawyer. Voy a decir una última palabra antes de darle el piso para que cada uno haga una pregunta. Mi abogada privada miró mi abogado miró el agreement, el relocation agreement que le pidió que Mini firme, y mi abogada encontró muchas cosas malas, como un parágrafo que es totalmente ilegal. Entonces hay muchas cosas que tenemos que ver con UHAP y muchas preguntas que tenemos que hacer antes que firmemos los papeles que nos sirven de firmar. That's about it. Eso es todo, y ahora le abro el suelo. I open the floor so anyone who wants to ask questions can ask the question, and after that I'll try to answer them, and then you can repeat those questions to UHAP. Any question? ¿Alguna pregunta sobre el proceso o todo lo que hay alrededor de este cuarto? Wow.
Which makes the whole question.
Hi, Nelson, 3F. Most guys know me. Hi. Based on what you were saying, what I heard is that the building management, the architects, the contractors, they're all going to be your HPD. Everybody's going to be that. Right. So I'm thinking everybody's thinking, well, if they're going to have the answers, let me just hold my tongue until the people that are going to actually have the answers can ask them questions.
Very good question, Nelson. Nelson está diciendo, ¿por qué hacer la pregunta ahora mismo entre nosotros antes que llegue a las 7? So the reason I'm going to tell you this meeting from all those guys is a regulatory meeting, meaning that they cannot close the loan, the bank cannot close the loan until HPD get that meeting. That meeting, HPD can sit on it. Whatever question we have, whatever disagreement we have, they can say, we took it under advisement, 30 days has passed, we're closing the loan. We don't care about what they've said. And that's what is very important, very tricky about that meeting. They're obligated to give us that information, but once they gave us that information, they don't have to wait for us to digest that information. So we can say we need 90 days. They can say, no, 30 days, we're done, we already signed the loan, we're getting what we're getting over there, you didn't make a single question, and I'll say it in Spanish, I'll give you the floor back. So, la respuesta de su pregunta es que el meeting de hoy a las 7 de la noche es un meeting obligatorio de la parte de la ciudad. Cuando HPD tiene que cerrar el préstamo con el banco. Oh, it's too loud, sorry. Can you all hear me? HPD cuando va a cerrar el préstamo con el banco, tiene que hacer un meeting obligatorio con nosotros 30 días antes. Una vez que hace ese meeting, que va a pasar a las 7, HPD ya no tiene que no tiene que hacer nada. Podemos decirle, no estamos listos, necesitamos más tiempo, 1 mes, 2 meses, 3 meses. HPD can say, no, 30 días y vamos para adelante. Whatever.
And my question becomes, at that point, the lawyer that we have, or do we have a lawyer to back up? If we don't, we need to get one and order an injunction.
So, before we go with lawyer, pidió la pregunta de Nelson es, ¿por qué no tenemos, si tenemos un abogado o no? La asociación de inquilinos ha perdido el abogado con legal aid. The tenant association lost the lawyer we had with Susan Chase. We lost her. She walked away from us because we didn't fill out the little form that says our income verification. So we have been without a lawyer for several years now. And as Nelson said, we need to find a lawyer. And that's another question for the tenant association as a whole, to debate, to discuss, and figure out whether we need a lawyer. My answer is yes, I would love to, but I'm not the tenant association. We need to do it together. Yo decía que si necesitamos un abogado, por supuesto que necesitamos un abogado. Yo tengo uno, pero la asociación necesita, nosotros como siendo miembros de la asociación juntos, tenemos que decidir sí o no tomamos un abogado. No, there is no quorum. The meeting at 7 is different. So.
I just wanted to point out, I have a sister in Houston, Texas. She sent me an article from the New York Times specifically talking about 640 and 644 Riverside. The article mentions that 644 is currently suing the contractors for shoddy workmanship and windows printed upside down, roofs that were said to be renovated are still leaking. One gentleman reportedly still has to sit in his dining room with his umbrella. And my question comes, if this is what we are expecting, we're not going for it. I mean, all of the homes need renovation as is, but I mean, if it's going to be shoddy.
I'll translate that.
You're absolutely right. There were tremendous problems in 644. It took much longer than it should have. The work was very shoddy. I even saw one of the apartments that they supposedly renovated, one that I'm supposed to relocate to, and I know I would have been furious if I had to leave my home for 2.5 years and come back to that. Which is one of the reasons why they switched completely the managers or the architects that are going to work on our building. That was the only way they could get us back on the table. And I believe it's MGM or something like that. They posted their pictures on the wall. I did a Google search on them, and they do have a reputation for doing a quick turnaround. So I don't anticipate the same problems that 644 had, but I'm going to say this. I hope that everyone in here asks every single question you have about this process. But I also want you to think about this. I'm being very honest with you. I am always nervous when someone is talking about me leading my rent-stabilized department, as you are as well. However, we as rent-stabilized tenants are extremely vulnerable. At some point, we are now down to about less than 1 million apartments in New York City that are still rent-stabilized. And so when this program comes through, I actually think if you don't want to go down this road, and I can understand why you may not, you need to think, what's the alternative? Now, I can tell you what the alternative is. HPD is not a landlord. I mean, just ask anyone that lives in NYCHA. But this building hasn't had a bona fide owner in God knows how long. So now we're in this TIL process, or whatever it's called, third-party transfer. If you don't want this, what is the alternative? HPD will sell this building. It is prime property. It is on Riverside Drive. We do not pay the rents that people across the street, either way, pay. We have a condo right across the street. The apartments are going for $500,000. So I know that owners, potential owners, are waiting with bated breath to buy the building. And if they buy the building, there will be no discussion about what kind of renovations you want, what kind of work you want, where you're going to be relocated, and you definitely will not get a guarantee that you will be back in your apartments. So when they come, please ask as many questions as you can, but also think about the alternative. Because I have a feeling that if we don't go through this, within 2 years, we will be sold. And that is not good for anyone in here. I guarantee you that. So think about it.
Thank you, Tracy. We'll translate all that. That's going to be long.
Okay.
I'll try. And Tracy just wanted to comment something. I think she's totally right. And we need to ask you, what are the alternatives? We need to ask that question. What they're offering us if we don't do? We have to ask the question. That's all I'm saying. Just asking the question. So, lo que dijo Tracy, disculpe, para traducir todo lo que pasó, Tracy nos estaba diciendo que en el C44, cuando hicieron el proceso, todo lo que está documentado en la pared, hicieron un trabajo muy malo. Y lo que decía Nelson era lo mismo, que el trabajo del contratista del C44 fue malísimo. Por eso UHAB cambió de contratista para tomar MGD. MGD tiene un historial de ser un buen contratista, trabaja rápido, hace un buen trabajo. Ahora, la pregunta que decía Tracy es que tenemos tantas preguntas. Lo importante es que todo el mundo haga las preguntas que se tienen que hacer. Todas. Tenemos que preguntarle a UHAB todo lo que se pueda. Porque si no lo hacemos y si no vamos con el programa, se puede ser que nos voten de aquí. Eso es lo que dice Tracy. Y tiene una cierta razón cuando se ve lo que está pasando alrededor de nosotros. Y bueno, lo que dijo al final es que haga la pregunta, pregunte y pregunte. ¿Otra pregunta o another question, comment, anything? Anyone? Nelson? You did all the... So the story of the gas, it is a very true story. La historia del gas, hace como 3 semanas, UHAB nos mandó un mensaje. About 3 weeks ago, Brent from UHAB sent us a message saying that Con Edison, because of the construction, each time a line is going to be renovated, the gas will be turned off for that line. However, once the line is finished, the gas line will not be turned on until the completion of the project. So if you're unlucky or you're lucky to be at the first line that's going to be renovated, you'll have to wait until 2 years for the gas to be back. If you're lucky...
Did you tell them?
Con Edison.
That's not them. That's Con Edison.
Yes, I said Con Edison. Yes, we agree, but I'm saying the reality is we will not have gas. And the reality, if you live in the B line, for example, the last line, you'll have to wait 6 months, not even 6 months for the gas. So that's it's not UHAB fault, but it's a reality of the project. So la historia del gas es que con Edison, después de le dijo al contratista que cada vez que van a renovar una línea, se cortará el gas. Y el gas no se va a devolver hasta que el proyecto se acabe. Entonces, si usted vive en la primera línea que se hace, no va a tener gas hasta el final del proyecto. Si usted vive en la última línea, tendrá gas cuando ya acabe su apartamento. Quiere decir que el tiempo de no tener gas puede ser entre 2 años y 4 meses. So the alternative we were offered is 2. One is we go with hot plate, and we get electrical hot plate, and those who get at the beginning of the project will get hot plate, and when the gas gets put back together, we'll get the gas. The alternative was that we'll turn all the building into an electric. They will remove the gas and they will turn it into an electric stove building, only electric. Lo que nos dijo UHAB es que van a poner como alternativa placas de calefacción para la comida mientras no haya gas, o si no, cortarán el gas para todo el edificio, para siempre, y pondrán ¿cómo se dice? Estufas eléctricas para siempre. Entonces, esas son discusiones que tenemos que tener con UHAB y preguntas que hay que hacérsele a MGD y a toda esa gente. Those are the questions we need to get MDG, and UHAB asked. We need to ask those questions to them. Any other question? Any other comment? Anything? I see a new face behind me. Hi.
I'm from CPC.
The banker's here. Welcome. Have a cookie. El banquero viene de CPC, está aquí. We'll wait for the rest of the people. Welcome.
Who's going to transform the gas stove to electric?
That's you.
You're asking us to go and buy a hot plate.
Oh no, that I believe. I don't know the answer. We need to ask it again to Yuhab, and that's a question we need to ask Yuhab.
If we go to electric, say they do my line first, until they finish the project, my lights will go off, so that comes out. Right?
Lo que,
That comes out of my
no, tú no
project.
sé. Lenny, sorry. Oh, Lenny pregunta que si él compra un hot plate y tiene electricidad, si el dinero del bill viene de su bolsillo. That question was asked to Yuhab last time during the meeting, and they came up with some weird mathematics, and I don't have the whole answer. We agree. La respuesta fue que le preguntamos a Yuhab cuando estaban aquí, nos dieron unas matemáticas y no me acuerdo y prefiero decir que no sé.
We incur another cost if we have to convert to electric stoves for the building, but we have to pay that like for the 605, go higher than they do that?
I do not know. The question is the cost going up if we go electric? I do not know. That's another question we should drill Yuhab about. And we should ask them definitely what the plan is. Dice que si se va a subir el precio de la construcción, no sé la respuesta. ¿Otro comentario o algo? Anyone? We all good? You don't have any question? I love this building. I love you all. Tonight, 25 minutes from now. La pregunta fue si tenemos un tiempo de límite para decidir si vamos para adelante hacia la construcción. The question was, do we have a time limit to make a decision? So the answer is 25 minutes from now. That's the meeting, the regulatory meeting we're talking about. La respuesta es en 25 minutos. Tenemos 25 minutos para decidir si vamos para adelante o no. So, we need to figure it out together. Any other question that I can?
What's going to happen in the meeting tonight?
Mi amor. My wife, Maho, is asking what's going to happen in the meeting tonight. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to hear from Yuhab, HPD, the CPC, the bank, and they're going to make a presentation of all the stuff that's going to happen in the next 2 years.
They don't even have time because you said they might give us 30 days and then they might throw it out. So.
The story with the lawyer, we have two options. The tenant association, la historia con el abogado son dos. The tenant association have a fund of $5,000 that is the tenants, our fund, and we can decide what to do with it together.
I think it's 7.
7,000 now? Okay, I'm not the treasurer, so I don't know what the number is. My last count was, okay, 7,000. So what we do with those $7,000, we can go and hire a lawyer at whatever rate, and we sit down, but you have to give the decision, you have to give the permission to do that. The second lawyer is the legal aid lawyer. The lawyer where we had to fill out the form, Susan Chase, and we have to go through the building and get the form filled up. He asked a lot of questions about what is your income, what is this, what is that. So we need to decide whether or not we want to go with her. And so my preference is that we use any legal means. We go to legal aid and we go with a private lawyer. And they would defend our building, and they would defend every tenant in the building through the tenant association. La historia del abogado es dos. La historia del abogado es, primero tenemos un fondo en la cuenta de la asociación de inquilinos como de $7,000. La pregunta que tenemos que hacer juntos es si usamos ese dinero para tomar un abogado y que nos represente nosotros como la asociación de inquilinos. La segunda cosa es Legal Aid, que tiene un abogado gratis como Susan Chase, que era nuestra abogada, pero tenemos que llenar la forma que nos dieron, donde pregunta cuántos son nuestros ingresos, cuánto ganamos, cuánto pagamos, todas esas cosas. Tenemos que devolver esos formularios lo más pronto posible para que ellos digan si nos van a representar. Pero eso es una decisión que tenemos que hacer juntos. Any other question?
Okay, so I think that we should cancel tonight's meeting because nobody here is prepared to ask a single question. Wait, I'm not finished. Okay, go ahead.
Lo que dice, what's your name? Oh, he does, but. Okay, lo que dice nuestra vecina es que no estamos preparados para tener el meeting de esta noche, que es a las 7 de la noche. I'm going to give my personal response on that. I agree with you, 100%. But again, it is a regulatory meeting that HPD put together, and they just sent the board a letter saying the meeting is tonight, end of story. I talked to Evelyn, I asked, I begged, short of crawling through a church, she said, no, we're having the meeting tonight. And she told me that if the majority of the tenants require more time for the process to go to the next phase of the closing, they might consider it if the majority of us want more time. But she will make the decision tonight after the meeting. So the meeting will have taken place already. La respuesta que le di es que yo he pedido a Evelyn de HPD de cancelar el meeting de esta noche. Rogué, short of going, de ir a la iglesia y depender de un ser, me dijo que no, que el meeting de esta noche tenía que pasar. Pero que si una mayoría de los tenants, de los residentes, piden más tiempo, ella lo consideraría dando más tiempo antes de pasar a la etapa siguiente. Pero es HPD decision. No tenemos ninguna manera de pararlo fuera de ir a la corte.
Okay, so if nobody shows up, then they don't have a meeting, right?
So I will answer that because I asked my personal lawyer about not showing up, about all that, and she said,
I'm not saying you don't show up. I'm saying no one in this room, the way I can gouge it, no one here is really that ready to have this 7 o'clock meeting. I'm not.
We are ready, because you know what, we've been in this process for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And I do understand when you say we need to wait, but it's been 10 years and we've been definitely on a string trying to figure out what our destiny is going to be. So I know that the reason they are probably setting this date is because that is when they can get everybody here involved in this process to ask for the people to ask questions. Even if you don't know what question you're going to ask right now, when they start talking and giving information, you will then most likely have a question. And one question is better than none.
Okay.
Thank you.
We don't need to be absent, and it's a good
good thing we're here. This is a perfect demonstration of a co-op. This is what we should have been doing for 15 years. But in the last 5 years, every year it was ready to set, go. They're going to do it this year. They're going to do it this year. So for 5 years, we thought it was going to happen. Now it's going to happen, and it feels hasty about get out your apartment real quick, and we're going to fix it real quick, then you get back in. Meanwhile, we've not been behaving like cooperatives, so we do not have like a one single lawyer that knows about rent stabilization versus proprietary lease. So now is a good time for us to make sure we have a lawyer that helps us ask them for what we want them to say back. What they said to us is, how much do you make? How many people you live with? Do you want to go to apartment 4G while we fix your apartment? That's what they asked. Now, we have some things we want them to say to us and put it in writing. And by the way, every time HPD issues something, it's on that New York City paper, the same paper that your New York City mail comes if you're a senior citizen, if you get any aid to dependent children. In other words, they are a city agency. HPD is a city agency. I don't completely understand you have, but it sounds like to me HPD can do anything they want to. They just don't want to do it in a 120-unit building with only half the people willing. So I don't agree with Theo on everything. I think 90 days is too long. I think if we could come down here like this tonight, we can do this in a few more days, and we can do it until we get what we want to be reassured about and give it to them. That's right.
So, para traducir rápidamente lo que dijo.
6 weeks instead of 12 weeks.
Wow, yeah, but now I have to translate. Lo que dijo Judith es que, can you give me the beginning again?
The beginning is, this is an example.
Oh, esto es un ejemplo de lo que es una cooperativa. Todos nosotros estar aquí en el edificio aquí abajo, hablando de lo que se tiene que hacer. Este proceso ha tomado tanto tiempo, como 10 años, que nosotros se nos olvidó lo que es ser una asociación de inquilinos. Se nos olvidó venir a bajar y a ver de qué se trataba el edificio. Se nos ha olvidado todos estos años cómo ser un co-op. Ahora HPD es una agencia de la ciudad. HPD puede hacer lo que se le dé la gana. HPD puede esperar, HPD puede hacer lo que quiere, pero hacer lo que quiere.
They used to have 50-unit buildings that were slummed down, broke down, deteriorated. Now they have a 120-unit building that is not broke down, slummed down, deteriorated, but it needs repairs. So we need to do numbers.
Este edificio tiene 120 unidades y necesitamos estudiar los números, estudiar todo lo que he puesto en las paredes, estudiar y hacer las preguntas.
And when you see those papers from them, when you get mail from HPD, it's got the same NYC as every other city agency. So they can do what they want to do and what they're willing to do. So if that lady told you that it's a majority rule, that's what we'll be doing as a co-op anyway.
So lo que dice la carta, que como me dijo que no iba a delay el meeting de esta noche, si una mayoría está aquí, lo que dice Judy es que deberían escucharme. Ok, Judy piensa que esperar 90 días, 3 meses es demasiado para que todo el edificio aprenda todo lo que se necesita en el edificio, pero ella está en desacuerdo a veces conmigo, entonces piensa que tiene que ser 45 días, 45 days.
Who else wants to say something? Because people are scared of the rent going up triple.
So, I just saw Brent coming behind me. Hi, Brent. We have cookies and soda. Brent is from UHub now. What time is Evelyn coming in?
HPD's meeting is at 7 o'clock.
So it's over 7 o'clock, no?
HPD's meeting is at 7 o'clock. Okay. Here.
Okay. Well, welcome. This is, we will have more people coming down. And,
You want to disinvite Brett, but you don't know how to do it politely.
oh no, I can disinvite Brent any moment. I am mad at Brent, and he knows that, but
We should be
the
tracking
thing
down
is,
tonight.
tonight's meeting has a purpose and we need to follow it. And we need to understand the process truly and trustful, etc. Any other question you have for the tenant or any other comment you want to say? Pregunta que tiene, comentario que quiere hacer. Brent está aquí de UHAB y representa el dueño del edificio, by the way. Entonces, pregunta, anything else?
By the way, a board member said tonight that if your rent goes up from 200 to 600, that's one thing. If it goes from 800 to 2,400, that's ridiculous. So it's beginning to sound like almost per unit and per cooperative. Certain terms may need to be arrived at. And so if that's the case, that begs the idea that we should have a bit more time. Nobody's fault that we've been on our phones and email and whatnot instead of meeting like this. But now that it's really time to do it, this is a co-op and this is how we need to meet, whether we have Kenny Soto with us or Brent with us or not. We need to meet and say what we're going to do and then go to that. If you hear me say anything inaccurate, Brent, please chime in, even though it's not meeting time.
I could clarify.
Okay, would you clarify?
Do we have a lawyer that's representing us?
No.
It's like going to a gunfight with a knife. They got a gun and we got a knife. We need a lawyer to represent us, so we don't say nothing. We need to have a lawyer to represent us, and we need to know the statutory.
I'm cutting you off because you're looking at Brent, and I want to say you should be looking at all of us. Brent is invisible here at this time of the meeting. We welcome him, but we need to talk to each other, not to Brent.
All right, we need a lawyer, straight up. We don't need to talk because they're probably looking at us like we're stupid. We're just saying whatever we want to say. They're not going to listen or agree to anything. They got a lawyer. We don't have a lawyer, so we don't know that legal terms and all of that stuff. So if we have a lawyer, they have a lawyer, they fight it out, and they sit down and they talk. They're our mouthpiece for the legal stuff that we don't know. And they know that we don't know this stuff. That's why they're agreeing to all of this stuff without us having an attorney. So it's
But you
wrong.
understand, us getting a lawyer is up to us, not them. It's up to us. So,
We do have some funds in a bank, and we were collecting money from tenants, $20, I think it was $20 a month. We have about 7,000 in there now. You want a lawyer? You have to be willing to pay for one. I am, but everybody does. So that means that that's a commitment, and you're absolutely right. We should have a lawyer. But we know that. The problem is, are you willing to pay for it? All right, because people stop paying into the fund.
Okay, we are talking about the lawyer. I mean, I agree with you because you came a little bit late. So we've been talking about lawyers. And there are some stuff that is happening in this building. I mean, that should be. I mean, several of us are being taken to court right now, as of right now, because of certain things. And I found that despicable. And now I'm talking to Brent. I'm sorry you're here. So we'll get it out. Well, no, okay, I'll keep it for later then.
please, yeah.
But the thing is, the importance of having a lawyer represent us as a building is an example of that. Why we have this problem of people being taken to court, because they're individually representing themselves the best they can. And nobody to look at the whole project as a whole, defending that each one of us will continue being our apartment. And that's what I wanted to say, I'm sorry. Just because it's 7 o'clock, I mean, I think, what time is it, David? 6:50.
Can we set a sign-in for our this meeting that we had?
No sign-in for tonight. However, I'll say something very clear. quickly. Para los que hablan español, discúlpeme, I'll say this in English. Can I? Yes, I wanted to call up, there is an election on June 11 about getting a new board for the tenant association. We haven't had a proper election in several years, and I see here bright new faces that I'm looking at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would like to encourage 6. I would like to ask that all of those bright new faces run for the board. That I have the form that needs to be filled up before June 1st, and I would like you to do that step. If you want to say a word right now that you will do it, raise your hand and present yourself.
I want to say something.
Oh.
And the first, we talked about the first loan we got loan for 640, 644, right?
Yes.
So since we co-signed that loan, so you know everything is going on with that loan. It's here, right?
Well, that's a long, the loan story.
Well, we want to get that lawyer, so let's get into that. There's an endless conversation because if we have a lawyer on this team, we don't have a lawyer. So we're going to constantly lose, and we're going to get slaughtered because we don't have a lawyer to speak that talk that they know.
But so now everybody, we're going to talk about the lawyer between ourselves. We may be going to.
So we shouldn't go forward with anything until we have a lawyer. This is my opinion. I'm not trying to discredit anybody else's opinion. This is how I feel as an individual. Everybody has their own thought. But me seeing this for being here for 45 years, I see a difference, and it's like, this is my opinion.
I agree with you, but we cannot get a lawyer for the next 20. Well, we'll let Brent explain that at 7 o'clock. They'll explain all those little details. Malik, Master Mustafa, I'm so sorry. Oh no, you raised your hand. No, you're not interested. Okay. Yes, but tell a little bit about yourself. No, okay. Then no. Anything else?
I'm interested in the politics spend for the building. No one did any stuff, take the money, don't take anybody's work, anybody got a job. It's the building,
We're going to move to.
the board is in charge of the money, that's why I try to make sure that they take them. Everything's good, no one did any stuff.
So para traducir lo que dice, está hablando del préstamo porque el préstamo original era el 640 y el 644. Entonces, ¿qué pasó con ese préstamo? Esas son las preguntas que tiene. Yo no tengo las respuestas, pero se va a tener que hacer las preguntas. ¿Hay otra pregunta o podemos pasar a la sala de al lado?
¿Por qué no se hace acá?
Porque mucho ruido y mucho.
I don't think you'll fit in the next room.
It's wet in there.
You want to do it here?
Yeah, it should be here.
Even though you have this meeting, the problem with this room is that there is a lot of echo.
But you have a microphone.
No.
Everybody's here. And everybody's already here.
The floor is split over there.
So I'll ask a question to everybody. Okay. So I think the meeting is over. We have done the first part. I tried my best to explain to you what was in my head. I put it all around. What's in my head is plastered around this wall. So you have the scope of work over there, management here, loan, and the work they have done last year at 644.
A lot of the contractors, we people are suing the contractors that did the work at 644 and all this stuff. So can we please get a lawyer? I keep saying this because I know all this stuff, but I don't want to get messed up in the situation of over the words for the lawyers know, so please give us a lawyer.
Well, I think on June 11, I think the new board will get a lawyer. So we'll work on that. But, Robert,
I want to know, who do we see to sign up for a lawyer to get on? Who do we see to sign up for a lawyer?
to get a lawyer, we need to go to the form through legal aid. So we'll be doing, I think the new board is hearing what the tenant said, that we need a lawyer. So we'll work on it. I don't know, the new board will work on it. I mean, I don't know if you will elect me again, but...
I just want to compliment Theo for information that he's been sending us via internet, via email. It's been very informative and very useful for us. So thank you again, Theo, for doing that.
Thank you.
Yes, it's absolutely right, we need a lawyer. But here in a show of hands, I want to see who's willing to start to contribute to the fund to get this lawyer. Good, that's what I wanted to know, because when it comes to right, everybody wants a lawyer. When it comes to get the funds to get the lawyer, okay.
Sign up.
Okay.
We should sign up.
So just to finish, I think it's 7 o'clock. We're going to go now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, señores y señoras, ladies and gentlemen, señores y señoras, vamos a pasar al cuarto de al lado para empezar el meeting de las 7, que es el meeting regulatorio con UHAB, HPD, MGD, CDC, and everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pass to the next door. I know the floor is wet, so be careful. We'll help everybody who need help. We're going to go next door to have... No, I'm saying in the next room, not next door. In the next room over here. No, the reason is I know it's wet, but we need to...